too has all the above midos. I'm very, very proud of her. A pleasure to walk down Achuza Street, and you can't walk 5 steps without being stopped. And I see the warmth between her and the one she greets.
באתי לספר לכם איך סבתי הייתה צוחקת, שמחה, ואתם יודעים שהיא הייתה תמיד מדליקה נרות. כשאני מגיע תמיד היא מכינה לי בורקס, כמובן היא קוראת לי קוקי. תמיד סבתי הייתה נחמדה.
זה עוד יום שישי, נושם את האוויר, האור והצל.
One of the most amazing things about Imma is the relationship that she had with us, her kids. It was a very close type of relationship. Like, for example, I actually went with Imma to see every single one of the Harry Potter movies. And it's a lot of movies. It's like, I think there are 8 of them. Now, I don't even know about one friend of mine that went ever with his parents to the movie.
מתגנב, מתגנב, ופותח דלתות, אל אושר קטן, אל אותו שיר ישן.
When I was 12, 13, 14, something like that, I was kind of in a rebel age, and I went out of the house. I was wearing a long shirt and a skirt, and then I got out and I switched to this really, really short sleeve shirt that I didn't want Emma to see that I was wearing. And after about 2 steps that I was out of the house, I felt extremely bad and I ran back. I told her everything. I started crying, and then we spoke about the whole thing. And I think that shows how Emma was she had this amazing ability to, on the one hand, be a mother and lechanechas and lechanechas for good achim, and on the other hand, make us feel so close to her and open with her and want to share everything with her and not to ever lie to her. Emma was just this amazing, amazing person with amazing energy.
מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, רסיסים של כוונה, עיגולים של אמונה. מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, כמו הכוח לקבל את מה שאין, את מה שיש, מה עוד אפשר כבר לבקש.
So you know that Dina was a big fan of I Love Lucy, and for some reason in her everyday life she would get herself into Lucy-like situations. Like, for example, she was walking in Kfar Saba where she worked. She was a teacher in Kfar Saba. She was walking down the street, and she had a can of Coke that she wanted to throw out. She finished drinking. She sees a nice, clean garbage can in front of her, throws it in. As it's going in, she hears a woman say, "No, no, no." And then she looked and she realized as it's going in, like in slow motion, that this was a brand new garbage can that a woman had bought. And Dina was just throwing a piece of garbage into it. So she apologized, of course, and all that. The woman was very upset. And Dina bent down into the garbage can and started wiping it up with a tissue. And just as she was doing that, she hears a voice that says, "Dina, ma et osha sham?" And she gets up. It's her principal, who happened to be walking by at the very moment that she was cleaning out a garbage can. So that's a typical story of a Lucyism that Dina used to do.
Once we had 2 teenage girls over for Shabbos, very distant relatives, and they didn't know anything about Shabbos, anything about Judaism. And during Shabbos, at one point they came to Imma and asked if they could have a pen because they wanted to write something down. They wanted to draw or write something down. And Imma didn't know what to do. She didn't want to, she was uncomfortable. She didn't want to teach them what's allowed, what's not allowed. So she looks at them and she goes, a pen? We don't have any pens. Who uses pens these days? Everything's on computers, you know, today's technology. That's how she ended that.
קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים.
Shira had Nehara. Imma called Zaba Moshe to tell him the name. By the way, Imma had an amazing kibbutz av. She would call Saba every single day at 4 o'clock. Every single day. They even spoke, it doesn't matter if they had nothing to say, she would call every single day to check up on him. So she called him to tell him the name. And his hearing wasn't so good. And she kept saying it again and again. It's also a very special name. And he kept saying, what? And she used to spell it out in each letter, N, and what? And it took forever until finally she had an idea and she said, Daddy, the name is Nahara, like Kenai Nahara. Should we say Kenai Nahara?
I was around 12, 13. I had a hamster. Her name was Erica. And I guess at one point, I don't remember how long afterwards, I wanted to give her away. So me and my mom didn't know what to do. My mom went to all the ganim around our house and she offered them Erica, the hamster, but none of them wanted her because she wasn't kosher. Anyway, so what me and my mom did was we went to the vet that was close to our house. My mom was in the car. I ran outside. I put the cage with Erica, with food and water and everything by his door. I rang the bell. I ran back to my mom and she zoomed away and we couldn't stop laughing for hours after that.
We're supposed to thank God for good things and thank Him for the bad things, which of course is very hard to understand. But Dina did that in a way with dancing. That was her way maybe of communicating with God. She obviously would dance when she was happy. We all know that. I know that she danced even when she wasn't so happy. The morning of her most difficult surgery, she said, before I go, I'm gonna dance. She did that. She opened on YouTube some Rikudei Am thing and she danced. A smile on her face, and that's the way we went to the hospital.
I don't like to waste anything. I teach all the children and grandchildren not to waste food, not to waste clothing, and certainly not to waste their money. So that night we had some plastic cups, and I put everybody's initial on the cup: R for Rivki, A for Arthur, D for Dina, and E for Effie. When Dina and Effie came in and we took out the cups, we all laughed so hard that I nearly choked and almost had to be taken to the emergency room.
אמא תמיד חשבה איך אפשר לשמח אותנו. סתם דוגמה, כל שבת שהגעתי הביתה, הייתה מכינה או קונה את המאכלים שאני הכי אוהבת. אחרי שהתחתנו, הייתה קונה לדוד את הדברים שהוא הכי אוהב. מעבר לזה, הייתה מאוד רגישה עלינו. ממש רגישה מתי ואיך אנחנו צריכים אותה. דוגמה אחת, מכיתה ז', הייתי אמורה להתחיל חוג פיזיותרפיה. הייתי מאוד לחוצה. התוכנית הייתה שאני אסע באוטובוס אחרי הלימודים לבד. הייתי מאוד לחוצה ומאוד מובכת מהסיטואציה. הגעתי לחוג, נכנסתי לשירותים רגע כדי להירגע. כשיצאתי, אמא שלי עמדה שם. היא כנראה הרגישה אותי וידעה שאני צריכה אותה, והגיעה לתת לי חיבוק לפני שאני נכנסת.
Dina is a very religious girl too, I want you to know. When she went to Barilan for a year, and then when the tests came up, she didn't panic. Other people started to study. She went to the kotel in Yerushalayim. She prayed. She came back and passed with flying colors.
לפני כמה שנים, היה ככה אחרי פסח, אני תמיד בתור כזה מישהו שלא אכל קני דלח בבית, אני חסר, רציתי לאכול קני דלח, ולא... אז הייתה לי הברקה, אמרתי אולי נכין קני דלח. אז היה מצרכים וזה, אמרתי טוב נבדוק מתכון באינטרנט, ככה בהתלהבות, נמציא מצרכים, זה, נמציא את הסיר. ואז סבתי דינה לא אהבה את זה במיוחד, אמרה לי, what are you doing? כזה. ואז אמרתי שאני רוצה להכין קנה דלח, אז היא אמרה, לא, מה פתאום? זה יעשה בלגן בכל הבית. ואז הייתי ככה במפח נפש, ולא הכנתי את הקנה דלח, וכנראה שסבתי שמה לב שהייתי עצוב. אז בגלל שהיא הרגישה רע, ואני לא מגזים, זה אמיתי. כל שבת כשהיינו מגיעים, היא הייתה עושה קני דלח, ממש כל שבת, למרות שזה לא היה המנהג, והייתה אומרת, this is for you.
Occasionally she would hide behind menu cards in restaurants when we were mid-chat. What's up with that, Dina? I asked. I don't want to have to speak to that person over there. I don't want any new friends before my bat mitzvah, bar mitzvah wedding. We gotta keep the numbers down, you know. Because that's how easily my Dina made friends. Everyone loved her because she made everyone feel that they were her best friend.
About 8 or 9 years ago, I picked up my car from a car wash, and the fellow that had cleaned the inside of the car left an unbearable stench of body odor. I didn't know whether I was going to pass out, barf, or something. Just that second, you called to find out if we were meeting at the mall, told you what was going on, and she said, "You've got BBO in your car." We both laughed so hard we were crying, and I was able to get through the day.
David, Yaakov, and I made Aliyah Erev Kol Nidre of 1980. It was customary in those days to walk on Achuza Street after the Kol Nidre davening. Rachel and Chaim Goldsmith introduced us that night to the entire English-speaking community, which was not all that big. We met Dina, Effie, Shira, and Uri. Uri was 18 months old and Yaakov was 17 months. As Dina met us and she saw Yaakov, she said, "Our sons will be the best of friends." Dina must have had good intuition, because that is exactly what happened.
I had the privilege of spending many summers with Dina in Camp Oresha. It was so clear that she had become Israeli, because when we'd leave camp together, I had the car, and we would take our days off together. Everything new that she would experience would be such an adventure, and every adventure for her was fun. And aside from that, she was so excited that they actually sold Mike and Ike's in the gas station.
Dina was my New York friend, somewhat my age, who seemed to know incredibly little about the music of the time when most teenagers are into music. She claimed to be a rock and roll fan because she knew the Rabbi's Sons. Could not name the 4 Beatles if her life depended on it.
One day in June, July, Dina was having a good day. We decided to go off to the beach. Just as I was pulling into the outside parking upstairs, a car came charging out of one of the side alleys and went right into us. Everybody was okay, and I got busy taking all the details from the driver, who was a young Arab girl, and Dina, being Dina, spent the time chatting up the passenger in the other car. I didn't pay much attention. I don't know what they were talking about. We finished getting all the details, and we each went our own way. I waited until my husband got his car, waiting for him to come back to Chutz La'aretz to deal with it. And then he called up the insurance agency, who said they couldn't do anything because the other driver hadn't reported it yet. Well, that wasn't good enough for Dina. Dina got to the canyon, and after her chat with the young passenger, who was also a young Arab girl, knew exactly that the 2 girls worked in Renoir. She went to Renoir. She tracked down the girl. She recognized her. I certainly would not have recognized her. I went over to her and in her gentle way threatened her that if she didn't report it to the insurance company, she was going to go to the police. Well, sure enough, the next day, everything was reported and everything got done on its best side. So you see, Dina's chatting up does have benefits.
I recall one occasion where she just sat and looked at me. "What's up, Dee?" I asked. "You're so quiet today." "Shh, egg is flying," she whispered. "I can't say any Lashon Hara. Don't ask me to."
We were in shul on Shabbos. It was at Katzin, and after shul there was a kiddush upstairs. So Dina said, "Come, let's go." Okay, we went upstairs, and it was actually set up so beautifully. They had fabulous platters all over the place, and Dina found this fruit platter, and it was set up really magnificently. Finished the strawberries on that plate, and we went to the next table, and again she took the strawberries and said, "Ah, look how beautifully they're cut. This star is so beautiful." And all of a sudden I looked across the table, and there is this little boy taking the strawberries, biting into them, leaving his teeth marks in them, and putting it back on the table. Well, I said, "Dina, here's the answer to your story. Why is it so beautiful? This little boy, look at him." And she takes one look at him, and she bursts out into her adorable giggle. And the 2 of us were just laughing uncontrollably. It was so funny. We had the best time.
What I'll remember most is the summer I spent in Israel with the Brilliants. I would hang out with Dina, just the 2 of us. We watched soap operas together and folded laundry, went shopping, regular boring stuff, but with Dina it was fun. She really took care of me that summer. I was 6,000 miles away from home, but I never got homesick. It really was one of the best summers of my life. She was like an Imma to me, so much so that I was calling her Imma by the time we left. And it wasn't weird. At least I didn't think it was weird.
Probably one of the fondest memories Evie and I have of Dina is that every time we came to Israel, once we cleared baggage, we'd look up and there was Dina waiting for us. We'd sit down, have a cup of coffee, a piece of cake. Like clockwork, she was always there. And sadly, now we come to Israel, we still look for her, and she's not there.
אימא ממש אהבה ללמוד תורה, והיא גם העבירה את האהבה הזאת אלינו. הביא דוגמה, יש דפי פרשת שבוע שהרב וייס מוציא ברעננה, ואימא ממש אהבה לקרוא אותם, והיא הייתה אומרת שמי שהביא לה מהבית כנסת ביום שישי את הדף, הוא הילד האהוב עליה. אז כולם רצו להיות הילדים האהובים, אחרי זה גם הנכדים רצו, אז כולם הביאו לה את הדף, אז יצא שחצי מהדפים של הבית כנסת היו אצלנו בבית, מצטער הרב וייס, ואז היא הייתה יושבת בשולחן וקוראת את זה בקול, וזה פשוט היה מרתק, כי הרגשת שאימא אוהבת את זה, והיא אוהבת את התורה, ואת זה העבירה הלאה גם אלינו.
אימא הייתה גם אשת חסד, עשתה חסדים, בלי לדבר אליהם יותר מדי, בלי לעשות רעש. דוגמה אחת בולטת שעולה לי עכשיו, זה שבמשך שנים, אחרי הפיגוע בסבארו, במשך שנים הייתה הולכת עם קרול לרעות כדי להתנדב, כדי להלך לחברה, להורים של אישה צעירה שנפצעה. האישה עצמה הייתה במצב צמח, עד כמה שאני יודעת, אבל היא מנסה כדי להיות עם ההורים.
There were many stories about Dina. She found joy in everything. She laughed at everything. She was fun. She was fun to be with. Everybody loved her and she loved them. And so we remember her fondly. We miss her very much. And Tehei Nishmata Tzura B'tzor HaChayim. We love her.
But we have this giant hole in our hearts. We know we'll always have a smile on our faces from all the memories and the great times we had together. And we look forward to spending many, many, many good times with her wonderful family. And maybe they'll pick us up from the airport.
סבתי, אני יודע שאת מתגעגעת אליי, אבל את יכולה לראות אותי. אבל רק תדעי שאנחנו עושים לך משהו חגיגי כדי לזכור אותך, לאהוב אותך. אנחנו תמיד אוהבים אותך. להתראות החברים של סבתי.
I love you, Dad. Wait, now you say you love me on the tape. Say it.
I love you, Dina.
No, face her, face her. Give her a kiss. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Okay.
We had a great relationship from day one. We both operate on the same brainwave. We don't have to talk. I know what she's thinking of and she knows what I'm thinking of. She was and is a perfect daughter. She never was a problem. If I can give a blessing to all you young people who have young daughters or are about to have young daughters, I would tell you, I bless you, I wish you have as much nachas as I have from Dina.
Uri, you have to dance if you're in the middle of the picture.
Oh my God, that was gorgeous.
Linda,
How you did all that?
I sent you.